jobs. The quotation, "The reward for work well done is the opportunity to do more," is a motto for many workers who love their jobs, and even for those who hate everyday work routines because there's a challenge and a motivation hidden in one sentence. Dear listeners, welcome to our next episode of podcasts. Make yourself comfortable and let us begin.
Sloboda je kľúčom k nezávislosti. No, čo sloboda znamená pre teba? Štvorka ťa nebude obmedzovať. Sloboda pre mladých nie je len paušál. Sú to otvorené dvere do nového slobodného života. Tak daj záväzky bokom a prejdi do štvorky. Voľné minúty, SMS-ky a mobilné dáta dostaneš už za 4 eurá mesačne, a to bez viazanosti. Všetko vyriešiš pohodlne na webe slobodapremladých.sk alebo v mobilnej apke Moja štvorka. Stačí, aby si mal potvrdenie o štúdiu. Tak na čo ešte čakáš?
To live a meaningful life, we should have the goal to live successfully and in relative satisfaction. How can we achieve that feeling? Some people see the meaning of life in work, and they feel fulfillment when they succeed in their tasks. Jobs provide us with a salary important for our life and allow us to develop our individual natures and intellectual needs. Work is a place that shows us our position and lets us cooperate with our colleagues. The atmosphere at work is the most important factor that influences whether we're happy to go there every morning. Relationships with colleagues and our boss motivate us to achieve more. The feeling of participating and being a skilled person in a particular field makes us feel valued in society. Many people discuss what we must do to have a good job, earn enough money, and feel satisfied. Studying at university might be a good start to build a career because education and qualifications are very important in specific jobs. There is a likelihood you will earn a higher salary and possibly win a promotion. However, university is not enough. Determination, effort, and very often talent are decisive elements of success. Speaking of talent, artists, like singers, writers, and painters, earn money from the works of art that they sell. Finding inspiration and perfecting their talent is a significant motivator to move forward and create something original. What should you do if you don't have a talent for music or painting? If you answered, "Just lie down and wait for money to grow on trees," you are wrong. Jobs are divided into categories of manual and intellectual work. You can try both to see what you prefer. Manual or physical work typically involves working long hours, spent outdoors or indoors. The best-known manual jobs are those of plumbers, builders, miners, or carpenters. These jobs are frequently misjudged, mocked, and considered as easy, but the opposite is true. Without these occupations, many people would not be able to fix a broken washing machine or build a house. These handy people spare us suffering and tears over flat-pack furniture from IKEA. And these hard jobs are needed. Young people see the threat of hard work and long hours, and that's why it's really difficult to find a good specialist for roofs or tiles. We must also emphasize the importance of the intellectual jobs performed by teachers, doctors, lawyers, or architects who work with creativity and mental capacity. These jobs are more valued than manual ones, but as we already said, they are equally important. Intellectual jobs usually require qualifications and a certificate of competence. The population is divided into two groups of economically active people who are looking for a job, together with those who are in the workforce, and economically inactive people like children, retired people, the sick, elderly, and disabled. What job do you incline to, and where would you look for the job of your dreams? First of all, if you are unemployed, there are centers run by the government which support this group of people. Unemployed people go to job interviews regularly while their health and social insurance costs are funded by the state. After finding a job, it is the employer's duty to pay these costs. Unemployed people may receive financial unemployment benefits support once their circumstances have been evaluated. Job offers for the labor market are available on websites like Profesia and others, which help you contact the employer and make a connection. Firstly, you need a CV, which stands for Curriculum Vitae, which shows basic information about you, your education, your work experience, and a list of previous jobs and your skills. A good CV must contain all the contact information and your photo, as well as an explanation of your motivation to work for a particular company. Recommendations from your teachers or previous employers might help you to find a suitable job. This recommendation includes a description of your attitude to work, cooperation in the team, your ideas, and how you carry out all the tasks needed in your job. How do you know which job is best for you when there are millions of them? Is it money, 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 money? Salary plays a huge deciding role, but it is only one element in finding a job. Candidates usually look for companies where their skills can be developed, where their horizons can broaden, and where there is a chance of promotion. A good team and the location of the workplace are also very important factors when choosing the right job. The working hours, the possibility of doing night shifts, responsibilities, and benefits are significant issues when considering job offers. The employer invites some candidates for a job interview, either face-to-face or online. If you want to impress your future employer, you should wear appropriate formal clothes and behave with respect. Your answers should correspond with your CV. And try to be calm and confident. Confidence is very important, as well as presenting your personality and skills if you want the employer to hire you. Don't talk too much, but at the same time, don't be too quiet. Use body language appropriately. Employers often include small talk in a foreign language or prepare questionnaires evaluating your competence for a particular position. Demonstrating that you can complete the task helps the employer to judge the candidates. The employer should announce the decision personally or by post. Finally, when you get a job, you work for long years and eventually retire. Some people stay in the same position and place for their whole life. Others experiment and try out different jobs. The average retirement age in Slovakia is 64 years, depending on the number of years worked. Other countries have different ages when people can retire, either earlier or later. These conditions are constantly changing and depend on the social situation and population. There is another notion referred to as a holiday, which has nothing to do with the legendary holiday. Let us introduce you to maternity leave, typically used to take care of a baby, often considered as a mother's, quote, free time. Nowadays, not only women can go on maternity leave, but the initiative is also taken by men or husbands who are happy to take care of their children. The decision usually depends on the salary of the couple because maternity leave is around 250 euros in Slovakia. Buying nappies and looking after a child are financially demanding, and many mothers work part-time at a home office. This episode has concluded the topic of jobs and some tips on how to find a job and behave at a job interview. If you want to be successful, remember that a healthy sense of confidence can bring success and give a good impression. It is important to choose proper clothes without a plunging neckline or wear socks with sandals. We have learnt about maternity leave and retirement, but if you want to know more, listen carefully. Manual jobs are frequently called blue-collar jobs, whereas intellectual jobs are known as white-collar jobs. And these labels have socio-economic connotations. Blue-collar is derived from the image of workers who wore denim shirts as part of their uniforms. Both expressions come from the 1920s, with the coming of novelist Upton Sinclair. When you are a fresh graduate, your expectations are usually high. However, the starting salary doesn't share the same tendency. Employers care about years of practice, and that's something that a fresh graduate doesn't have. However, don't give up. Your income is sure to increase if you make a good impression and work long hours. We are sure your efforts will be admired and financially rewarded. We live in the 21st century, but there are still situations where women are discriminated against in our society. Young women who want to get a job might be turned away by employers who are afraid that they might become pregnant and need a person to replace them. Companies usually rely on those who stay with the company for a long time without going on maternity leave. However, there is another problem, that even older women whose kids are already adults have problems finding a proper job because of their age or overqualification. The state should solve this discrimination and try to help women whose salary is still many times lower than men's. No matter if you are a man or woman, the interviewer has no right to ask you personal questions about your plans, like starting a family or getting married. There's a policy of questions which are allowed, but the creativity of employers is developing more and more, and we could even write a book on the most interesting and strangest questions asked in job interviews. At the beginning of our podcast, we mentioned the sense and meaning of life. Some people love to work, and their only passion for life is their job. Workaholics can't take a rest, and they have to work constantly. Other free time activities make them nervous and distracted from work. It is a dangerous mental disease which every one of us should be careful about. Work might help us overcome difficult situations like divorce, breakups, the death of a relative, but we shouldn't dedicate our whole life only to work. These people break up their relationships and end up alone. If we want to avoid workaholism, we should take a deep breath and enjoy every little moment outside the workplace as well. It is important to keep a work-life balance filled with activities that make us happy to stay mentally and physically fit and motivated for work. An excessive number of working hours can cause burnout syndrome when people are incapable of creating anything and they're not motivated to work, which has an impact on their work performance and the quality of completed tasks. This might be the reason why some people take early retirement, which also depends on their state of health. If their health prevents people from working properly, they can take early retirement, which they can spend going to rehabilitation sessions and spa treatments. Dear listeners, thank you very much for listening. And remember, a good job might help you to live a great life, so don't hesitate and find a hobby that makes you a breadwinner at the same. Respect the holiday Labor Day on May 1st and celebrate this day because the work makes a person noble. Don't forget to tell your friends about us. We will be delighted if you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or write a comment on YouTube. And we hope you listen to us again soon.